Welcome back to the channel, guys. Are you ready to dig into, did Blake Lively actually leak Taylor Swift's information before the subpoenas? We're going to dig into that. And this is something we've been talking about over on Instagram. And I thought I have to do an actual video about this. We have to talk about this live. So we're going to dive into that first. I do think Blake Lively fired a warning shot. And that's what was the trigger or the domino in this whole subpoena for Taylor world and what we've been seeing. But then after that, on the back end of that, I also want to look at where can Taylor go from here? Because I really think she needs to be strategic with her PR on the other side of this. And I do not believe that her traditional PR route, which has been silence and hiding away, is going to work for her right now. So we're going to dive into that. I have little stickies to keep us on track. I usually don't have stickies, but I'm like, there's a lot we're going to cover today in regards to this, and I want to stay on track for it. So how are you guys doing? Say hi in the chat. It's so nice to see you guys. Leo's here. Hello. Yes, please like the stream. I always forget to say that. Luckily, I have you guys. Hello, guys. It's so nice to see everyone. Oh my goodness. 1 a.m. in Australia. It's so funny. I have clients or potential clients will reach out and they go, do you have different times to schedule a call? Because I'm in Australia. And I'm like, I have Aussie clients that are getting up 1 o'clock in the morning for a call or staying up late and, work with everyone all around the world. But yes, sometimes it is a struggle. And I love Australia. I love everyone there. Hello, guys. It's so nice to see you. Hello from the UK. It's so nice to see you. All right, guys, say hi to each other in the chat. It's, I have to say, the world's best chat. Hello. So nice. Okay, we're going to dive right in because we have a lot to cover today, but please hang out in the chat, talk amongst yourselves. Again, the best chat in the world. This is something that I didn't notice at first. The potential that Blake Lively had fired a warning shot when she, allegedly, potentially, maybe leaked this Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce morning routine. I talked about this more primarily. Oh, Mel's here. Holy crap. It's so nice to see you, Mel. I haven't seen you in ages. That ADHD pulled me off track. Calgary, hello, hello. I'm in Ontario. Nice to see other Canadians. So when this first came out, I thought it was weird. We talked about it over on Instagram where I said, this is just odd. Like, it's definitely not. I do a lot of Instagram stories and my thoughts on Instagram stories. So if you're not following me on Instagram, follow me over there. But I said, this is definitely not Taylor's world. They are not leaking this. But the Daily Mail was the first one to leak this information. And they had said that, it's this impeccably placed source told the Daily Mail. I have to pay to click on this one, so I'm not going to. But that was 4 weeks ago. We're at May 28th. They said they had this impeccably placed source. We've had some weird drops within the Daily Mail as we've went along. And so I said, there's someone behind this, but it's definitely not Taylor. Now, let's click on this one because it's not going to make me pay. I'm so tired of paying these publications for this. I have like so many subscriptions going, and then I forget I have these subscriptions going, and it's just a whole thing. All right. Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce's morning routine is all about their love story. It looks like Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce are burning calories, not by hitting the gym, wink, wink, but by working out together at home. Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce are taking a much-needed break from their busy careers while the singer is resting after performing 149 shows. Okay, we all got that. And it looks like they're burning calories, not by hitting the gym, but by working out together at home, just as young couples in love do. So that right off the bat is like, that is definitely not Taylor's camp. So it talks about a source close to the couple told the Daily Mail that they get their workouts in together just as any other young couple in love does. She finds him the most romantic man she's ever been with, and he is all about making her comfortable. Kelce gives her massages and has had to learn how to not use. Has had to learn how to not use even half of his strength. It's so corny. But she likes the fact that he's a big, brawny guy. She's big on breakfast. Me too, girl. Me too. I need a massive breakfast or I am just hangry in the morning. So I see and feel Taylor with that, which generally consists of yogurt and eggs. That is not a big breakfast. I thought big as in volume. She also loves her latte in the morning. Taylor does have a cook. She enjoys eating good food, which she cooks herself, or does not have a cook, sorry. She's always trying new recipes. The morning is her best time to create music, which she is constantly doing all day, every day in the back of her mind. Everything she sees, hears, breathes, and experiences gives her insight for new material. She's inspired by literally everything. I don't doubt that. Oftentimes throughout the day, she will feel a beat or lyric and grab her guitar, which is always nearby. She has an in-home studio, which she knows all the inner workings of. No doubt about that. Adds the insider. They keep going. In her free time, the source mentioned that Taylor Swift likes to spend time on fun apps like Sing Along. I don't even know what that is, and laughs when she comes across her own songs. She also enjoys selecting her outfits and gets excited after finding good deals while shopping online. She likes reading romantic novels and sometimes reads about politics, but has been trying to stay away from political news because it makes her feel stressed. When it comes to dinner, Taylor usually enjoys getting dressed up and going out with her friends when she's in New York. But recently, she has been spending more time at home by having a glass of wine with her meals, but only if it's suitable with the food she's eating. It's so random. Taylor Swift or Travis Kelce also joins her for dinner. They like cooking together, and the athlete believes Taylor is a great cook. Taylor enjoys having romantic dinners where she prepares the food and Travis sets up the table for them. So it was originally broken by the Daily Mail. So this one was May 4th. 4 weeks ago was the Daily Mail coming out with this. And there's some stuff in here that a lot of it's like she likes to cook. Okay, I think you could guess Taylor does. Baking has always been a part of her brand. She's put that in her brand. But this weird, like, burning calories at home, that they're not leaving bed, that, he's giving her massages, all of this weird shit at the time, I thought, this just feels weird to me. Like there's something here that feels like a leak, but I couldn't put my finger on it. And at the time, I'm going to be honest, I did not predict that it could have potentially been Blake. Now, am I saying it 100% was Blake? No, but it's really weird when you start to look at the timeline because this was the very beginning of May now this picked it up second. It was 4 weeks ago that hit the Daily Mail first. That's where the exclusive was. And if you're looking at the PR of it all, I would say, one, we know that Tree Paine, if you're a Swiftie and you know the PR from Tree Paine, or not Daily Mail, People is her place. That's been known from day one, that Tree Paine, if you're getting, doesn't mean everything that says a source in People is Tree, but if you're going to get the closest thing to a statement from Tree and Taylor, it's in People. That's been their exclusive place. Blake Lively seems to be leveraging People as well lately. The Daily Mail does tend to lean towards Justin, I find, but they have these random ass exclusives and insider info that I can't put my finger on where it's coming from. And I think that's part of the chaos campaign of it all, is throw people off. From day one, let me know what you guys think in the comments, but it always felt off to me. And I can't see Taylor, because if you look back at Taylor's brand as well, there was an episode of Travis Kelce's podcast where he let out some, like, I think it was his brother. Let me know if you guys heard this podcast episode. I don't listen to the podcast episode, but there was controversy that hit Google SEO around this because his brother made a joke about like a dry spell with his wife. And Travis joked back that he doesn't know what that would be like and made, without mentioning her name, some kind of reference to Taylor and him. And there was like a statement without being a statement that came out from Taylor's camp and squashed it. Like, this is not okay to do this. You cannot. And there were sources coming out saying Taylor put her foot down, told him that he can't say stuff like that. And after that, there really wasn't anything personal that Travis had really like leaked on the podcast. So I just cannot see this having come from anyone that's genuinely close to Taylor. Now, they're really interesting. Well, close without a grudge to fulfill, because apparently Blake is going scorched earth. I still think that, I genuinely think that Blake needs to watch Game of Thrones. Do y'all think she's actually watched Game of Thrones? Because I do not think she's actually watched Game of Thrones. I don't think she really knows that, like, what happened with Khaleesi. So this article portrays Taylor as the everyday girl. Even if they're throwing shade, they failed. Yeah, absolutely. And that's what makes it confusing too, because it does kind of go in line with her brand a bit of the every woman personal branding that she uses. It just, no, Ryan watches it. I don't doubt Ryan does. See, I agree, LHTS. Taylor Swift would never give out info about her personal life like that. Blake Lively would most definitely leak something like this as a warning shot to get Taylor Swift to support her or else. That's what I'm saying. And again, I can't say for sure. Obviously, I'm not on either of their teams, but it just feels interesting because that was the start of May. May 9th, we got the subpoena to Taylor Swift. Part of me is wondering, now again, this is me thinking out loud. Let me know your thoughts in the chat. Was there a talk between Taylor's team and Bryan Freedman and Justin's team of like, we'll give you what you want, but go through the proper channels kind of thing? Or like put a subpoena in place. We'll give you what you want, but put something in place. Like Blake fired, again, this is just hypothetical. This is me looking at the timeline, looking at potential PR moves, what could have happened. To me, it feels like that came out, it was a warning shot. May 9th, we have a subpoena. I do wonder if in that timeline, Taylor's team reached out or that source reached out and was like, look, go through the proper channels, but we're putting this in move. We're getting the wheels moving for this. Because May 9th, there was a subpoena to Taylor Swift's team. May 14th was the letter. And that's when things blew up online. And everyone was saying that, Blake had extorted Taylor. That started dominating SEO. That's when we also started to see a lot of the SEO move in favor of Justin Baldoni's side. And the narrative changed because there were a lot of Swifties that were against Justin Baldoni, but we saw this clear shift over. May 15th, I believe it was May 15th, the judge strikes the letter, but I'm going to call it damage, but I don't mean that in a negative way, but like the damage was done. So it was already dominating SEO. It had already created a specific narrative. And then May 22nd was withdrawn. That is a tight timeline between those articles coming out and it painting the perspective that someone's leaking personal information about Taylor Swift to subpoena, letter with the claims of extortion, judge strikes it down, withdrawn. It just feels like this was a warning shot from Blake. Again, do I know that for sure? No. Does she really watch her kids or does she have nannies? I'm sure they have nannies out the wazoo. I imagine they have a full team. I would not doubt that. And it's interesting as well because while there was some temporary traction this gained in SEO, it didn't gain a lot, which made me wonder if there was like a nervousness of running with it. Or like Tree or someone stepped in and was like, what we're not going to do is pick up this story. Taylor watches Blake's kids. If you connect all the dots, you get a line drawing of Blake Lively. That's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking too. It just makes sense. And it could have been that warning shot of like, look, I know this information. You were just texting me that you and Travis are taking, he was going for the Super Bowl, you were on tour, and now you're staying home. But look at what's in the news now. Who else did you tell that to? It could have absolutely been a warning shot. And again, now we have that. Oh, actually, let me flip over. I think I have it. Where is it? Okay, so oh my gosh, the ads, Daily Mail, what the hell? Chill. What is this even about? Oh my gosh, it's like all chicken stuff. Can you guys tell I've been searching chicken stuff to buy? Those are targeted ads if I've ever seen one. All right, well, good on you, Daily Mail. At least they're good targeted ads. That is so funny. If you've wondered what I've been buying online, I have been buying chicken stuff. There you go. So we got this then, the Daily Mail. If we're looking at, so I'm just going to give you guys a little, I'm going on, well, I'm going to be speaking to one of your favorite YouTubers tomorrow morning about how PR works in terms of articles. But what I've heard a lot, so I don't want to step on those toes and talk too much about it here. But what I've heard a lot of is mainstream media is really running with this Blake Lively narrative of, we always supported Taylor. And look, Bryan Freedman and Justin are coming after Taylor, the most beloved woman in the world, and we stood up for her. Well, bullshit, first of all, Blake Lively. You brought her into this in the first place. But two, what you may have noticed is a lot of articles that we were seeing wasn't a statement from Justin's side, wasn't a statement from Taylor Swift's side. It was Blake inserting herself and at the very top of articles. So what we know from a PR perspective is about 60% of people read the headline, and new research, I think it actually just came out in 2024, shows that people that do go further than the headline, which is called your H1 headline, the big headline is your H1 headline. People that go further than that read an F pattern. So I imagine in your mind's eye, if you're visual like me, you can probably see this, right? So the full headline, maybe the H2 headline, and then you're kind of skimming the rest. What most people tend to read is the first 100 words of an article. So that the headline, the H1 headline, and the first 100 words are critical real estate when we're looking at PR. So Blake Lively was inputting herself at the very top of all of these articles that were making the news and all of these publications where she had her statement. But so originally it was actually very hard to see that, and that was by design. That was by design from Blake Lively's PR team. It was very hard to see, well, why did Justin withdraw it? Because if you also look at the timeline without really noticing what's going on, it looks like, okay, so they subpoenaed Taylor on the 9th. Bryan Freedman submitted this letter on the 14th. The judge strikes it down and is like, this is inappropriate. And then all of a sudden it's withdrawn. So Blake Lively leveraged that for PR to shift the narrative into her favor. But if you look at, and I think it was the Daily Mail might have been the only one, which is why I say they tend to get exclusives from Justin's side. They put his response closer to the top. So we saw it withdrawn, and then we learned why if you do some digging. So there was this exclusive major update on Taylor Swift's subpoena and Blake Lively's lawsuit after legal drama ended pair's friendship. Taylor Swift is no longer in danger of being called as a witness in Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni's legal war as the actors' team withdrew a subpoena for the singer, DailyMail.com can confirm. Earlier this month, Taylor Swift 35, whose song My Tears Ricochet featured in the movie It Ends With Us, was sent a legal notice by Baldoni's lawyer, Bryan Freedman, as a witness, leading to a blistering response from the singer's management. And I believe that was actually in People magazine, because I had said I think we covered that here on the channel. I said, if I'm going to believe anything that's coming out, I'm going to believe People if something is saying they have a source close to Taylor Swift. So there was that blistering response. The court letter also revealed the actress allegedly tried to coerce Swift into publicly siding with her by threatening to leak years' worth of private text messages. Baldoni has now withdrawn the paperwork seeking information from Swift about what she knew about former friend Lively's war with the actor, with an insider exclusively revealing the reason for the drastic move. So it's still I'm not a huge fan of how far down it still is, if I'm going to be honest, because a lot of people have probably been like, okay, whatever, and moved on at this point. I probably would have pushed for it to go a little bit higher, but it is what it is. They said Justin Baldoni's attorney, Bryan Freedman, dropped the request for the subpoena, and the reason for doing this is very simple. They got exactly what they were seeking. So while we can't confirm, and I know people were getting upset with me this morning when I said we can't confirm exactly what Bryan has at the end of the day, what it appears he has is the information that shows Blake Lively tried to extort Taylor Swift and intervene with a witness and potentially evidence tampering, or whatever it would be called. I'm not a lawyer. I don't even play a lawyer on TV. I'm in branding and marketing. But Daily Mail was the only one that was really pushing that. Blake Lively had really leveraged that opportunity to continue to spin the narrative and have narrative control in her favor, which made it look like, yeah, he came after her unjustly and unfairly. So it's really interesting to see the PR spin that's happened, but Blake was ready to go with all this as well. She had her statements ready. I feel from the get-go she was going to take that angle overall of like, we saved Taylor. We intervened. We sent a letter to the judge and he agreed with us and we saved Taylor. I think that was the angle she was going with all along. But I do think this was all put in motion because if we're looking at what I also want you guys to think back to, and I wish I had thought to have it up, but I don't. What I want you guys to think back to is that if you look at Justin Baldoni's information on the timeline, on the website that he created, to me, and quite explicitly, it says that they're not going to be starting this campaign, but they will defend themselves if Blake Lively comes out against them. This kind of fits that as well of, look, we're not going to be the one just putting it out there. We're not going to be the one dragging Taylor into it. We're not going to be the one just shooting shots that we have all this insider info about Taylor Swift. But if Blake goes to the press, you sure as shit bet that we're going to be ready for it. So that's my thought on everything that went down. I think this original article, again, let's pull it back up. I think this original article that came out, now look what's making the report. Taylor Swift is okay with that. Travis Kelce's very hairy back leaves fans split after sweaty Miami workout. You couldn't pay me enough to be a celebrity. You really couldn't. Yeah, and see, it also hit Cosmopolitan, an impeccably placed source. And they would have checked that. It's not just going to be like some rando that messaged Daily Mail. It was like, hey, this is what I hear happened, right? No, Taylor Swift is okay with that. An impeccably placed source reveals how Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce are spending their time off. That's my take on all that. I want to hear from you guys in the chat. Let me know what you think. I don't give much attention to this wedding discussions thing. If you look back at the entirety of the relationship, every time Taylor meets a little bit of a snag PR wise, it's all of a sudden it's like, but marriage, but babies. Look at over here. I want Daddy Swift to support Justin. One can dream. It would be amazing. I think ultimately Taylor's on Team Taylor. I just put a reel out about that. I do think ultimately Taylor's on Team Taylor. I support Daddy Swift. I support, is it Scott Swift? You got to protect your kid, first of all. Protect what's yours. If it was him that came out and was the one that contacted Bryan Freedman, someone had to do it on her side because the whole PR angle for Taylor during this is like, how can we get her out of this clean? Like, you don't want her to be dragged. Oh my gosh, can you imagine if Taylor had to go on the stand? And who knows, maybe I'm not a lawyer. Maybe Blake will force Taylor. Maybe Revenge will be like, you know what? You're coming on the stand. I'm dragging your ass. You were with me every step of this movie. You threw me under a bus. I'm dragging your ass to court. I mean, I wouldn't be shocked. I also wouldn't be shocked if Blake has nothing to lose and leaks more. That wouldn't surprise me at all. Tay-Tay is an empire. Yep, you got to protect the empire. And something we want to keep in mind as well is Taylor is an empire. She has hundreds of people that rely on her financially to not have this brand go under. There's hundreds of people in terms of her touring crew, her day-to-day crew, everyone that is involved in this empire and keeping it going. You've got to protect it. And that's not shade to say that Taylor is on Team Taylor. I'm not shading her for that. That's smart branding. And it's good parenting to have your kids back. So I think it's fantastic. If it was her dad that came out, fantastic. He had his kids back and, kill two birds with one stone. You're also protecting your kid's brand. She doesn't need to be in this. Taylor isn't going to court. She's going to get in the studio. Probably. I'm not going to lie. I'll even buy this album. I haven't bought one Taylor Swift album. I will buy this album. I want to know. I want to hear what Taylor has to say through the lyrics. But yeah, I can't imagine she's actually going to court. Her family. Blake thinking she's so important is hilarious. Yep. Yeah, I think he's a fantastic dad. And I think that this is a great move also for the brand. Someone had to do it. And if it was him that stood up and was like, you guys aren't making the first move, so I'm reaching out to them because no one's taking down my baby. And here's the thing with Scott Swift as well. I think it was when she was in Australia that he went after a photographer that was getting in her face to protect her. You know, say what you want about Taylor Swift, say what you want about her brand, say what you want about her dad or any of that in terms of the business moves they made. He does have a history of protecting his daughter publicly and literally getting in between her, like quite literally, not just figuratively, getting in between her and people that want to hurt her. So I wouldn't even be surprised. Did you watch the blind items linked to Blake Live? Like, no, but everyone keeps telling me I have to watch them. I do have to watch them. Okay, so that's the timeline. I now want to look at PR moves because that's my industry is branding and PR. And I want to look at like, how does Taylor get out of this from a brand perspective? I'm going to be honest. I do not think her traditional approach of just disappearing for a bit and being silent is going to be the best move here. I think she should absolutely be silent in terms of the lawsuit, absolutely be silent in terms of Blake Lively and all of this mess. But let me see if I have it up. I think I have the Google search up. This is what I do every morning is I get up and I see what's trending in SEO because I love it. I'm an SEO nerd. I don't have it, but I bet I can find it really quick. Let me just search for it. Okay. So if you start searching Taylor Swift fans, there's a lot of content coming out about them being disappointed. So Taylor Swift fans disappointed as pop star misses out on American Music Awards win. And there's also that disappointment that she didn't show up, that this surprise Reputation announcement just fizzled out. Taylor Swift fans disappointed as singer didn't announce Reputation at AMAs. Taylor Swift absent from AMAs 2025. That says it explained it. I'm sure it's just saying what it was saying before that she's with Travis. Taylor Swift fans disappointed as singer didn't announce Reputation Taylor's version at American Music Awards. Taylor Swift fans melt down as singer skips 2025 American Music Awards red carpet. Fans disappointed. Like this is, if you search Taylor Swift fans, what is dominating SEO right now is that fans are disappointed that she didn't show up. So for whatever reason, she had a lot of Easter eggs that were dropping. Her website spelled out AMAs, and I think it was like a 26% discount code that was signaling the 26th is when the AMAs were airing. Here's the problem that's going to happen with Taylor is if she's trained, that's branding psychology. She has trained her audience to seek Easter eggs to predict what she's going to do. And she has been dropping a lot of Easter eggs because I follow her. I'm not a Swiftie. I listen to some of her music, but ultimately I follow her because she's a branding and marketing. Her entire team is branding and marketing genius. If you look back, she's been hinting at Reputation Taylor's version for a while. And the problem is, guys, because I've had some people say, well, maybe all of this is just to like hype up Reputation Taylor's version. Because if you keep trying to hype people up and you don't deliver, it backfires and it's going to bite you in the ass. And Taylor Swift has been hinting at this for some time. And everyone got super excited. X was trending, like it was all trending. There's a lot of posts about it. Swifties were talking about putting on their clown music because they keep clowning, as they call it, as the kids call it these days. Kept clowning about her releasing Reputation Taylor's version. We had Look What You Made Me Do, Taylor's version coming out The Handmaid's Tale, and her team did a very obvious PR push for it. So it was all building up to something big, and it was just like, wah, wah, wah. Nothing happened. And so eventually that is going to catch up to her because people are going to get bored. And people are going to start getting frustrated too because you've literally trained your audience, you've literally trained your community to seek out Easter eggs so that they can predict your moves, and then you're never following up on it. So I really think, and she might be in a hard spot because she might think, how do I go about this in a way where I'm wrapped up in this lawsuit? There's all this drama around me, and maybe that is a piece of it too. But she needs to own the narrative here. She needs to take control of the narrative. And I genuinely don't think her team is. Not to the full extent. So, where are we going to go first with this? Okay. First thing we're going to look at is complacency kills a personal brand. And we're going to pull up a YouTube clip to look at this in regards to Fenty Beauty as well. So let me get that up because I think she's getting a little complacent, guys. I think she's getting a little complacent. And if you wanted to argue that, because I see it being argued as well, right? That she didn't necessarily lose any awards at the AMAs because it was rigged. Some people are saying she lost because the Swifties didn't mobilize for her. If that is true, she has a massive branding problem right now, a massive marketing issue, and she needs the shit that I'm about to tell you guys. She needs it more than ever. If that is true, if it was not a snub and it genuinely was that the Swifties were like, I couldn't care less at this point, that's a problem. Okay. We're going to look at, this is an episode, The Downfall of Kylie Cosmetics, although they talk about Fenty Beauty. We're going to link it back. Lies and Alleged Fraud. This is Beautiful and Bothered podcast over on YouTube. This is about a year ago. Now, Fenty Beauty was seeing a decline. So that's Rihanna. Love her. I buy Fenty Beauty. Don't put me in. I get comments and people are like, toxins, don't buy it. I love supporting her. I love Rihanna. And I love her products. Leave me alone. I eat healthier than probably 99% of the population. If I want to put toxic makeup on, I can put toxic makeup on. Anyway, so this is talking about how complacency kills a personal brand. And I want to tie that back into Taylor because I do think there's a level of complacency or maybe even comfort. I've seen this happen because, again, I've been in this industry for over 15 years. And I've told clients over and over again, you're getting complacent, you're getting comfortable, and it's going to bite you in the ass. And no client is forced to listen to their mentor or to their PR people or to their marketing team. You don't have to, right? And so when those people have not listened to me, what happens? It's going up, 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 up. And I'm like, you got to be careful. You're getting complacent. And it crashes on the back end. So complacency kills. And we're going to watch this clip here.
And it goes back to, we've mentioned on this podcast before, whenever we've talked about celebrity brands, when you're a celebrity with no experience in the beauty world before this, you're just a celebrity for a different reason. And especially Kylie is famous for nothing on top of it. So it's quite literally just you. The success of your brand as a celebrity brand owner is your personal brand. That is the only thing selling the line. And we've talked about it with Fenty recently and seeing hiccups from Fenty and stumbles from them in the past couple of years because it has been so long since Rihanna has reinforced her, Rihanna, I don't want to hear it that I'm saying it wrong, has reinforced.
That hit me in the heart. I can relate to that. Okay. So you might say, but that's makeup. Doesn't matter. It's still personal brands. Everything Taylor sells, it's her personal brand. So whether it's a album, merch, whatever, it's her personal brand. So this still relates. And I just think this is such a great example using Fenty because, well, it's Rihanna.
Forced her personal brand, i.e. by releasing music or nurturing the personal brand, that Fenty is starting to get to the point where people are like, wait, why is this the thing? You know,
every comment on the new Fenty Beauty post, they're like, we just wanted an album. We didn't need a new foundation.
That's what I mean. It's starting to slip where.
And this is the thing too. So what I'm starting to see, and the tide's starting to turn a bit, is the fact that, you know, you're getting all these Easter eggs and nothing's really happening. And so what you're going to see is a decline in brand loyalty. I think the AMA's blacklisted Swift due to WME and Jones. It's a bigger war. I do have a video on that where I do talk about that. I think I released it just yesterday. So I do talk about that. And if we're playing devil's advocate, I do think that's likely what happened. And if we're playing one, devil's advocate, and saying the Swifties just didn't show up, this is also why. And two, we also see, I have a video where her following on social media in certain ways has been dropping on social media platforms that require more of a presence. You know, her songs are streaming, but that doesn't mean there's a brand presence. And so we were seeing a drop off even before the lawsuit. So either way, there is an issue overall with the brand. And I have a video on that as well.
Or people only, when you are a celebrity with a brand, people are only buying it for the most part to support you based on your personal brand that they have a relationship with you.
Yeah.
When you haven't released music in 10 years and haven't nurtured your personal brands, your beauty brand that relies on that personal brand is going to start to decline.
And it is.
And
Fenty,
it is.
I know for a fact that somebody has told me that the Fenty numbers have dropped drastically. They think that there's such a loyal following to it. And I'm like, yeah, to a certain degree. Like, I think people repurchase products 100%.
Of course.
But the launches, the way that they sold out when it first started, it was so exciting. It was so new. It was so fresh and hot.
Yes.
Now, the new concealer.
And this is something that we see too as well, right? When you start to constantly give Easter eggs and you're not following through on them, and you start to drag and strike back. I feel like I missed something, but that's funny. You start to build your brand on a certain persona, certain branding and marketing perspective, and you're not following through on it. Loyalty starts to fade. Complacency in personal brands is a number one killer. And is she always going to have like a core Swiftie viral following? Yes, of course. There will always be a certain Swiftie loyalty in the core group. But that core group over time, you need new eyeballs on your brand to continue growing it, even if you're Taylor Swift.
Everything, all of the new launches are always like lackluster. The new highlighters, just like it flops in store. Like, every time I go see it, I'm like, it's boring. What are we doing? The brand has lost its identity because, like you're saying, the creator and like the founder of the brand, or I should say co-founder of the brand.
Yeah.
If you don't have loyalty to your own brand, from the last time I saw her post.
And I want to talk about that as well. The brand lost its identity. One of the things I'm seeing the most from Swifties that are reaching out is saying Taylor's kind of lost her brand identity. Not using those exact words, but that's what we would say in branding and marketing. They say, you know, she used to be like the funny, silly cat girl. Like, it was always about her cats. And she used to dress in a different way, but now it's always like super polished and put together and designer clothes. And so what I'm seeing a lot of is people saying since she got with Travis, her brand, there's a mismatch to who I fell in love with. And it doesn't mean you can't evolve, but when you evolve like that and you start to change the branding, but you're also not nurturing connection with your people, that's where you start having problems. And oh, is this the album that you guys are talking about? Dragon Strike Back? That is hilarious. I'm here for it. So that's where you start to have problems. It's not that you can't evolve. It's not that she can't be like, you know what? I used to be more relatable, but now I'm evolving into, you know, more designer. I'm mid-30s, etc. But when you do it from a distance and your way of connecting with your fans, when the original way she started connecting with her fans, perhaps she's just maturing, but that's what I'm getting at. Guys, listen to what I'm saying. When her original way of connecting with her fans was through like streaming parties, and she can't continue doing it the exact same way. Guys, you're missing the branding point in the comments. So she can't do it in the same way. She can't go to someone's wedding. She can't go to someone's graduation at this point with the size of her brand. But she has taken a branding perspective now where it's silence, almost disconnection, where what her fans are getting are like pap walks at a restaurant. You mature and you change your brand without reconnecting with your audience, and you're screwed. So I hear you guys, we all change, but you're comparing yourself to a corporation and a business. Unless each of you that are being like, but we all change, Ashley, are running $1 billion business off your personal brand. Congratulations, change. Doesn't matter because your brand, you're not worried about billions of dollars and hundreds of people relying on you staying the same. I'm sorry, this is tough love, but it's the reality. I have people and friends in my network, multi-million-dollar businesses, where part of their struggle within their brand was, I have outgrown my brand, but I cannot bring that public because it will mess up my multi-million-dollar launches that I have. So they outgrew their brand behind the scenes, but couldn't bring that into the brand itself without absolutely destroying the brand they built and starting from scratch. And when you have a team of 30, 40 people that are eating off of your brand, making a certain amount in launches, you can't afford to restart. Perhaps she's broadening her fan base. Potentially. But then you're going to lose the Swifties. If you're like, screw you guys, I don't care, I'm growing behind the scenes. So that's just something to keep in mind, is at the end of the day, if Taylor is growing in her brand and evolving her brand, what you guys are then saying is she doesn't care about the Swifties, which I think would be very problematic for her. To be like, screw you guys got me here, but thanks, bitches, for making me billions of dollars, but I'm evolving without you. It's not how you build a brand. That's not how you build brand loyalty. So I want to look at someone that's doing it really, really well, who is also evolving, who is also growing, who has also gone through a lot of transformation in her career and is doing it the right way. Miley Cyrus. All American Rejects are another great example of this. I've been talking about All American Rejects in my Instagram stories and over on Instagram. They are nailing this. All American Rejects were a big punk rock emo band when I was, I'm still in that scene, but when I was in university, they have gone viral right now. They are everywhere because they've gone back to their roots. And he has done, the All American Rejects have done a bunch of interviews in regards to this. They've talked about why they've done it because of the asinine price of tickets for these stadium shows. They want to reconnect, go back to their roots, connect with the fans, like be in it with the fans. I have been talking about this with my clients since the beginning of 2024. It doesn't matter if they're big names, small names. I've said, this is what you have to do. This is marketing and PR in this era. Now, can you build something without the personal brand? Sure. Someone like Taylor Swift can disconnect her personal brand to her ventures. Ryan Reynolds is an example. He has a bunch of products that, I guess he's done the marketing for it, so he's still kind of the face, but he has a bunch of things that aren't directly tied to his personal brand. But when you are the face, it's not as simple as what you guys are saying, and you're not thinking like a CEO. It's not as simple as just being like, whatever, I'm evolving, but I'm not connecting with people. So Miley is doing it so great. I've been posting some of her stuff in my stories. Another thing I love is all of her marketing right now, it feels behind the scenes. All of her marketing, all of her videos she's posting, it feels like you're getting this insider look, like someone's taking like a secret video and you're in it with her. It is like chef's kiss, so good. It's what I've been saying. So Miley Cyrus debuts new album, Something Beautiful, with surprise performance at fan-only TikTok event in Los Angeles. Miley Cyrus took a moment during TikTok's fan-only listening event for her new album, Something Beautiful, to give the 100-person audience a heads up. My next album is about to be extremely experimental, so have fun with that, she said. Something Beautiful is just the appetizer. By that point, the room had already heard the album in full, as Cyrus had chosen Los Angeles's Chateau Marmont to preview her 9th record. Oh my gosh, 9th already. Out Friday for fans who were lucky enough to secure a spot through social media. This is the same thing that All American Rejects has been doing. You secure a spot through social media. You go onto their Instagram, you hit the VIP list, and you get an alert, which feels very personal. That's another big piece of it. Feels very personal. And you can go be at the house party. So they secured a spot through social media, as Cyrus invited guests through comments on their TikTok videos using her song Easy Lover. But what they didn't expect was a surprise performance from Cyrus, who appeared after album playback to debut a handful of songs from the project, as well as a few fan favorites, including an impromptu rendition of her earliest hit, The Climb. So I want to show you what she did. So not only did she surprise people, which is like marketing gold right now. This is going back to what Taylor effectively built her brand off of back in the day. Again, are you going to have Taylor show up at someone's wedding? No, it doesn't make sense. I'm not saying Taylor should show up at someone's wedding. The point is connection. The point is showing people you give a shit. The point is like actually showing, hey, I value you and your money and your streams more than feeding you bullshit Easter eggs that I never show up for. That's the point. And if she really doesn't want anything to do with the Swifties, then drop the Easter eggs, because you're just screwing with people at that point, and that's not cool. And I don't like that. All right. So then we have this. So not only did she show up, but look at the content that is coming out of the event now. So this is, I think people got engaged at the event.
Oh, we don't talk about that one. It's kind of major. You know what? I've been so undercover age as well. Right? It's probably better now than it was then. Right? It was kind of major.
Oh, shit. Sorry, I picked the wrong one. This one is her talking about old movies. I'm sorry.
I mean, you guys probably have seen So Undercover way more than I have. I think I watched it once. And then it went straight to DVD, I'm pretty sure.
Okay, that gold, one, nostalgia. Taylor talking about her cats right now, posting something with her cats would be nostalgia for her fan base as well. That's been with her the whole time. Even in behind the scenes of her playing with her cats at home or something, or baking with her cats, something like that, right? I love Miley too, P. I'm obsessed with her. She's so smart with this marketing campaign. So not only do we have her connecting with the fans showing up, it's nostalgia, also throwing it back and honoring the fans that have been there every step of the way. It makes people feel seen and appreciated. And then this is what Heidi and Spencer have done about, they're now laughing at themselves about the wig. She's like, oh yeah, it went straight to DVD. So she's also able to laugh at herself.
I don't even know how to find it. Where do I even find something? Tubi? I'm not on fucking Tubi. Tubi? Is anyone here from Tubi? TikTok doesn't own Tubi, right?
Did she say Tumi? What is that? Someone has got to fill me in on what that is.
Is anyone here from Tubi?
To me, it's her being her. The best personal brands and marketing is you do not know you are being marketed to. That is what has made Taylor Swift so successful. Tubi. What? I've never heard of this. I am apparently old like Miley. Okay, so I want you guys, if you are building a personal brand, I want you to write this down. If you are building a YouTube channel, you need to pay attention to me right now and write this down. The best branding and marketing means you do not know you are being marketed to. The person is just going to be them. You're like, that's just Miley being Miley. Well, yeah, it probably is, but it's intentional, right? It's like Emily D. Baker. I love Emily D. Baker. Been a supporter of her channel, her merch, all of it from day one. Well, not literally day one, but she had not a lot of, it was pre-Johnny Depp trial. And, you know, it's just Emily being Emily. But it's not in the same vein because it's a very intentional brand and community she's built. So make sure to write down, if you are building a brand, the best branding and marketing means you do not know you are being marketed to. It feels like that's just so-and-so being so-and-so. There's nothing wrong with that. The best brands are authentic. Nothing wrong with that. That's no shade.
I feel like it's like a media cemetery, but I didn't say that. Okay, here we go. Ready? Right? LOL's on Tubi. Shush. Tubi's great. Mom's got a show on Tubi. Okay, Tubi's great. All I know is I think there was like a very subcultured Lindsay Lohan documentary, and it was only available on Tubi, which like came free with my TV. And
okay, and now she's just like you. This is intentional, guys. She's so normal. I love it. That is smart branding. Exactly. So people that appreciate someone that's just like them, so normal. That's why Heidi and Spencer are, going viral as well. You love it. It's yeah, see? Multimillionaire stars using free streaming services. Exactly. It's like you just have to laugh, right? And you laugh with her. She's talking about how absurd it is.
Okay, I'm done because I'm not getting any Tubi deals. I just ruined all Tubi deals. Here we go.
I'm just obsessed. There's another video, the one that I thought I was pulling up, but clearly I've just been watching Miley Cyrus videos today. Is this the one I was thinking of? Yeah. So these are you can't, well, you can. That's a lie. I'm being hyperbolic. You can buy this kind of marketing where it goes viral, but it feels better when it's organic. And this is organic. All American Rejects is very organic marketing, viral marketing. You don't feel like you're being marketed to. Yeah, she's promoting an album. Exactly. But it doesn't feel like it, right? She's like hanging out with you. She's shooting the shit with you as like, that's probably aging me. Shooting the shit with you about old movies she's been in. She's connecting with you authentically of like, she's like, I don't know, came with my TV. It was a free trial. I've never really watched on it. Can you see my stuff on there? Cool. You just feel so connected with her. Her body's insane. Yes, she needs to. I would be here for a Miley Cyrus workout video. I would follow it for sure. I love you. Practice what you preach. You're authentically you, and we love it. Oh, thank you. I do practice what I preach. And that's also why I attract the people I love to work with, because I am here to support people that also want to be authentically them. So it's so important that I practice what I preach. Absolutely. So thank you for recognizing that. Okay, so this is the other one. Someone just proposed at the Miley Cyrus fan event.
You guys, go get a robe. Put it on my bill.
Put it on my bill.
I'll charge it to my card. Yeah, there you go.
She's so cute. How do you not love her? This marketing is genius. And again, it's what really grew Taylor's in the beginning. Again, am I saying that Taylor Swift is able to go to, a pop-up event? Likely not. It would, I am sure, be absolute a shit storm and chaos. But there's other ways you can go about it, right? It doesn't have to be in person. But right now, the way Taylor's doing her PR is like pap walks. We're going to restaurants and pictures being released. And when you start to combine that with Easter eggs that no one is following up on, Taylor would never abandon her fans. Silly talk. Agree. I don't think she's abandoning her Swifties at all. I think what has worked needs just an adjustment. I don't think she's abandoning the Swifties, and I don't think it's intentional. I think this is what she's traditionally done, and it's worked very well. And I just think she needs a little bit of a shift. But I agree. I don't think she's abandoning her fans, and she's allowed to grow. But what we have to keep in mind is that when you are the face of a billion-dollar industry or corporation business, it's not as easy as someone that doesn't have a personal brand, especially at that level, just shifting. Because a stark shift without that reconnection with the audience will even kill small personal brands. Because people don't feel seen anymore. They don't feel connected with you anymore. So I would say number one, fan connection that built her brand is the number one thing I would be saying. Doesn't necessarily mean that she has to do, oh my God, can you imagine if she threw like a house party? I'd be here for it. I'd be here for a Taylor Swift house party. But some kind of promise and deliver. Do an Easter egg and finally deliver on it, Taylor. Your poor fans. I genuinely feel bad for Swifties that are like deflated because they didn't get Reputation, Taylor's version again. So fan connection that built her brand, that's been lost. So I would say, how can she do that? Now, that's for her team to figure out the logistics of that, what would be safe for her to do. But she's done these big stadium tours, reconnecting in some way, even if it is just, and not just, I'll show you. I'll pull up Miley's Instagram. Do I have hers up? Yeah. Where's the video I am thinking of? I shared it on my Instagram stories, but she probably has a cover on it, so I'm not going to be able to see. This one.
How's the hair? Stunning. It's buzzing.
The best thing I've ever seen.
Better be.
Yeah.
TV.
So I want to pause it before I get copyright struck. I got hardcore copyright struck, like warning to take my video down. My channel will be taken down over sharing a clip of the American Music Awards. So if it seems like there's a weird cut, yeah, that's why I had to cut it out. But this, like, it feels, let me just mute it and we'll just watch it. It feels like a video that's behind the scenes. You're getting like a sneak peek into the recording and her practicing. Like, it feels like you're with her. Content like that from Taylor has been missing for a long time. I think the last like behind the scenes, she did one with, there was a couple of clips with Travis. They were like baking or something, but a lot of the behind the scenes stuff is her at big stadium tours. But if we could get like behind the scenes of her with like her cats reconnecting, like Taylor in sweatsuits and maybe a little bit more off the cuff, because everything is so highly curated with Taylor at this point as well. You don't get interviews with her. Let me know, Swifties, when's the last time she's actually done an interview? Yes. Thank you. There we go. I definitely think the Stardom Untouchable thing is old news now. That is exactly what I'm saying. We want to feel connected for sure. Exactly. Miley would have, Miley would have got stampeded had she done this during Hannah Montana and claiming her womanhood during Disney, for sure. So that's what I would say, some kind of marketing campaign, some, like, even if she is actually, which I'd almost predict she has to use Reputation Taylor's version because the trademark, I think, is up this year. She did launch the song previously to Handmaid's Tale, but really pushed it on Handmaid's Tale. I would say she's almost coming for like a summer or fall. Might fit the vibe better of a fall release of Reputation Taylor's version. I think summer, it's not really like a summer album, but it could be a fall album, might feel better in fall. But some behind the scenes stuff where you feel like you're in it with her and it's not highly curated. Number two, something that was really powerful in Taylor Swift building her brand was what's called the IKEA effect. The IKEA effect is also what Heidi and Spencer are using within their brand right now, but growing the brand by like the fan base building it with you, the fan base co-creating with you. And Easter eggs have given that feel as she's gone. If you're still co-creating, you're still a part of the process. But going back to kind of that IKEA effect and helping the fans like within this new direction, bringing the fans back into her world. I'd be leveraging the IKEA effect within her branding and marketing right now. And it builds really strong loyalty. That's, again, another reason, and that's the psychology behind Taylor's brand in the beginning that really allowed it to take off. Now, I would say, of course, like this goes without saying, I don't even think I have to say this, silence on the lawsuit. Don't say anything on the lawsuit. But on the back end of that, what's become really big, and this is something I predicted as well, and it's picking up more and more steam, is celebrities going to, now I would have maybe a year or so ago included Call Her Daddy, the podcast, on this list. I don't really anymore. It's pretty big. But going on platforms where it feels more like small influencers, you know, you're not going to Variety for the exclusive. You're going to like, well, Miley was on Joe Rogan. It was fantastic. I love her on there. Or Call Her Daddy. You're going to these smaller creators and it's more intimate. It's less, well, it's probably still very curated, but it feels less curated. It feels more authentic. I think people would go wild for Taylor Swift doing a more like intimate type interview. It would obviously still be curated. It would still have a lot of rules on what could be covered. But wouldn't you love, like, I would so be here. Let me know. I would so be here for like Taylor Swift doing an interview in her home with like her cats or something. And it just being like, chill. I think of back to a couple interviews where she had like the interviewers come to her house and she's walking around and she's showing the trees at, like, I think she talked about her boyfriend buying her like was it a lime tree or something at her house, where it's just like, it's quiet. It's intimate. Taylor's probably silent to protect her money. But if you watch from the beginning, if you miss the beginning of this, what I'm saying is it's going to cause problems with her money. Hot ones. Yeah. Oh my gosh, I would love to see her on there. That would be so cool. And that would be a throwback to like old school Taylor too. Like I genuinely, even though I've never been a Swiftie, I liked old school Taylor where it was a little bit more off the cuff. And you'd get like the eye rolls, you get kind of the like almost snarky comments. And I don't say that with shade. I loved that Taylor. I would love a throwback to that. Yeah, authentic. Maybe she should do a rooftop concert and broadcast across her New York neighborhood. That would be so cool. It worked once before. That would be really cool. And like live stream to her Instagram or something. That would be super cool. And you could have the behind the scenes of getting ready for something like that. And maybe even her talking about why it's important to do that. Because what we're seeing with All American Rejects is one of the big pushes. And why they're going so viral is they're talking about the importance of reconnecting with the fans. The importance of doing things like this. So how cool to get some reels of like gritty, almost black and white, her like, just getting ready behind the scenes, maybe holding one of her cats. And it's these like little clips and she's getting ready or she's writing in her journal and she's talking about like, I want to reconnect with my fans. This is why it's so important to me. That's why, and you're getting a snip of Taylor behind. I would love that. I would stream it. Are you kidding me? That's a great idea. Yes. Yeah. I think that would be amazing. It would be epic. And it will give the fans something because again, it might seem like, and there will be, again, when you have a brand that size, there's going to be a subset that will follow her to the ends of the earth regardless. But if you watch, and I have videos on this, her social media following on platforms that require. So there's a difference when you're looking at stats on something like YouTube versus Instagram. Instagram gives us kind of more of a real-time feel because on Instagram or platforms that don't really push your content other than for seconds, right? Like if we're looking at Instagram, what happens is you make a post. I don't know if you guys know this. You make a post, it goes out to a certain amount of your followers, usually like less than 2%. Depending on how many people engage with it, it then gets pushed out to more. Depending on how many people engage with it, it gets pushed out to more. So when we're looking at a platform like Instagram, it can actually give us some insight of like relevance right now. Are you growing with a new fan base? Are new people finding you? Are your fans engaging? Whereas on YouTube will push old content. You'll get as much views, or that was bad English, as many views on old videos on YouTube as you will for new videos. And that's why I love YouTube so much. You don't put this stuff out and then it just like dies in the Instagram feed. So yeah, there's just like, I think there's so many ways where she can leverage Instagram again in a way that's growing her relevance. And if she is looking to pivot, if she is looking to come out as a more mature version of Taylor, bring that in your marketing. This is the IKEA effect. I'm bringing you guys into it. I'm at a new stage of life, and she can be talking about that. Like, I want to have a more intimate rooftop concert because guys, like I'm at a new stage of life. What is she, 35 now? My priorities have shifted. I just got off this massive tour and I just want to bring it back to my roots. I want to bring you on the journey of this next evolution, this next era. Sorry, let's use Taylor words. This next era. So come with me behind the scenes. It gives intimacy, but for those many that can't attend, behind the scenes content would be great for them. Absolutely. And Tag People magazine so Tree could see and bring it to her camp. Everyone's like, Taylor, can we do this? We just came up with your marketing campaign and we love it. Yeah. Like how I'm not even a Swiftie and I am here for it. And it gives, again, the fans something because we're seeing, and you don't want, if someone's looking at your fans and searching your name in Google for SEO, which is search engine optimization, you don't want the first couple pages being like, fans are bummed out, fans are upset, fans are disappointed. That's not what you want. That is not a good sign. The surprise concert 20 minutes in Times Square Shakira did a couple years ago. Exactly. Stuff like this. You got it. Yeah. So this is what I'm saying. Anyway, I think that would be amazing. And then the behind the scenes kind of lead up to it, kind of this vibe that Miley has going here. I think it'd be amazing. Would love to see Taylor do something because Blake still has her name in her mouth. Yeah. I agree. And there's a difference between, you know, being quiet in regards to the lawsuit. But if she's, I really do think she has to launch, if I remember the timeline properly, Reputation Taylor's version before the end of the year. So I'm not a Swiftie, but I've listened to her music over the years. Yeah, absolutely. All right, my friends. So that's what I have for you guys today. I genuinely think if you didn't catch the beginning, watch the beginning. I genuinely think that Blake Lively had leaked personal information in regards to Taylor Swift around May 3rd and a couple of days prior with the Daily Mail, which triggered the subpoena of Taylor Swift's team on May 9th. I do think there may have been, again, I'm not a lawyer. What do I know? But there might have been, we have to do this by the books. Like, put it on paper that we're being subpoenaed, so we have to turn this over, which I don't blame. If that is what happened, I don't blame Taylor. Like, you've also got to cover your ass, right? Like, go by the books, because WME and such are super powerful. Then we got the letter May 14th from Bryan about the extortion. May 15th, judge strikes the letter. May 22nd, withdrawn, and Bryan got the information. So I do think Blake's she's been playing dirty all along. Let's be honest. She's been playing dirty all along. And if anything else, if we're looking at this whole thing, if it is true and it comes out that she had in fact extorted, how dumb do you have to be, Taylor Swift? To me, that's just like, well, of course she's going to go after Justin Baldoni. Like, if she's willing to go after Taylor Swift, it's nothing to try and extort and pressure and force Justin Baldoni to take her side on something. So I think it just all comes together. Yeah, I think Blake was playing dirty. And I genuinely would not be surprised if Blake continues to try and leak things. I wouldn't be surprised. Oof. Beatles rooftop concert 1969, original innovative marketing. Hell yes. Oh my gosh, that's so true. I love the Beatles. All right, my friends, I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please like, share. If the other content, so I have more videos on this. If the other content we spoke about interests you, make sure to go check out. I think it's under my either celebrity PR and branding moves playlist or the exposés on Hollywood, probably the celebrity PR ones. I love the reference as well. So good. Such a great community referencing the Beatles. Are you kidding me? Hug the like button, everyone. Yes, please do. All right, my friends, it's such a pleasure to hang out with you. I hope you have a beautiful day, and I'll see you in the next one.